Okay, so what I'm trying to show you, and I realize that the view probably isn't that clear from the window, and that there aren't a whole lot of lights on the thing I'm trying to show you. But this is actually the roller coaster at the New York resort here in Las Vegas, and so this is my view from my room. So this is right here on the strip. This is the roller coaster at New York, New York. So I don't know. I thought that was a pretty cool detail. Some people don't like it. I heard a review that they complained that they could hear the screaming from the roller coaster until pretty late at night. So I'm not exactly sure when it stops, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. And I do apologize. The window is probably not that clean, although that might be fitting with the theme of New York, New York, quite honestly. So this is my last night in Las Vegas. Well, on the strip at least. Um, I'm going back to the suburbs, and we'll start my new job pretty soon. But I'm taking a little staycation. I don't think I've ever used that term before. So this is my last night, and I booked a basic room, and that wasn't available when I checked in because I could not leave the amazing pool at Mandalay Bay. So I checked in kind of late, and I've noticed a lot of times when you do check in late, a lot of times you end up getting a better room because they said, oh, all the basic rooms are already sold out, so we have to upgrade you. And I was like, oh, if you must. So this room is pretty spacious. I don't think the regular rooms are quite this big. You get kind of like a little entryway here, really nice marble. It's nice and cool on my feet. And this bathroom's pretty good size. And you get a nice deep bathtub, which I don't think is standard. I don't think you get that in the standard room. I don't think I could stretch all the way out, but it's pretty deep, which is nice. I do have a lot of my stuff in here. I do apologize. I came in kind of late and just kind of threw everything everywhere. So this is nice. It doesn't really seem like it's being utilized a whole lot. I feel like maybe put something right there. I guess if you have a lot of luggage, you can store it there. Nice mirror. This is pretty nice sized room, and I've got this table with like this artwork, and I'm not quite sure what the purpose is. I feel like that could be better utilized. I do, however, really like the molding. It's very Art Deco, which fits with the theme of the resort. So everything kind of looks like Grand Central throughout. It's kind of like the New York that doesn't really exist anymore, kind of from the movies, like maybe like a New York of 1940s type of thing. I think this is a really cool design. So this is the TV with the cabinet and the drawers, and this looks like a dumbwaiter, which is something you don't really see that much anymore. I don't think they make them anymore. But in older New York apartments, you used to see things like this. I've seen them quite a few times in older apartments, and that's where the safe is. So that is just a little. That is a cute little detail. I like that. I saw that, I was like, what is that? So, yeah, everything I think is pretty fitting with the theme. I think they do a pretty good job of the theming here. I like the kind of darker, neutral colors, the marble and everything. I think that's pretty reminiscent of the kind of older New York that they're trying to capture here. So this place is pretty well done. Down in the casino, they have sort of a replica of like New York streets with street cafes and things like that. It's pretty cute. It reminds me of something you might see at Disney World, at Hollywood Studios, except that all the restaurants are actually functional, which is something you don't see so much at like the amusement parks. A lot of times you'll have empty storefronts. They're just there for looks, but don't actually have anything inside of them. But here, everything's fully functional. There's a bunch of restaurants down there. Um, there was a pizza place I thought about going to, but the line was like wrapped around the restaurant at the door, and I just thought no. The outside of this resort is pretty cool too. They have a little replica of Statue of Liberty. They have an interesting design of the Brooklyn Bridge, which is just kind of on the sidewalk, so you just walk through it, but it's got all the detailing of the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know, the like beams and everything that holds it up. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I think this place would be great for maybe like a teenager who wants to go to New York, but maybe like it's too far away, or like you just don't really want to go to New York, like the real place. So this is like probably a pretty good alternative, like quite seriously. I also think because this one is like much more centrally located than the other places I've been, this is right on the Strip. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's like all those neon signs and stuff. This would be a really good option if you want to go out, like you don't want to stay at the resort itself. You want to see a lot of shows. You want to kind of like resort hop to all the different casinos and stuff. I think this would be a great choice because it's moderately priced. So the typical pricing of the hotels that I've stayed at here, which are all MGM hotels, the least expensive is Excalibur, and that's pretty much all of the time it's the least expensive. Next is Luxor, which I stayed at before. That's the Pyramid Hotel. And then this is the next one up. So this was pretty moderate. It's Sunday today. Usually the most expensive nights are Friday and Saturday, but it depends if there's like an event or something like that. I stayed at MGM, which is right across the street. That's what I'm looking at right now. That one is much higher end. It's quite expensive. I stayed there on a comp. That is right across the street from here. There's a little walkway you can take directly, and this one, New York, doesn't have a buffet, so they actually tell you to go to MGM's buffet. I don't really think it's worth the difference in money. I would probably just stay here and maybe go visit the resort, which is very, very easy to do as long as all the other ones. So that one was pretty expensive, and I don't know if I'd really ever stay there again. Not that I disliked it, but I don't think it was worth the money, and it just wasn't really my type. It's very crowded, it's massive, and the room I stayed in was so small. It was cool. It had a very comfortable bed, but it was very, very small. Much smaller than this room. I think Mandalay Bay is the best resort as far as everything's on the resort, and they have by far the best pool. They have a man-made beach. They have a man-made wave pool. They have a lazy river. So that one just like blew me away as far as the pool. I like to swim a lot. I think that one would be really good for like honeymooners, or like I know they do weddings on the beach, the little man-made beach they have there. I don't know, that one just really spoke to me. I said on an earlier video that I thought it was Polynesian themed. It's actually supposed to be more like an island in the Indian Ocean rather than Pacific. So it's more like India, Southeast Asian sort of theme. There's a lot of things like elephants and lotus flowers, so that was my absolute favorite. And it's got like this really like pretty smell all through the resort, which most of the resorts are like really smoky because you can smoke in the casinos. I like Mandalay Bay because the only place you can smoke is on the actual casino. You can't smoke anywhere else, which is nice. But a much fresher air, fresher smell. So, yeah, MGM Grand, I probably won't stay there again. I loved Mandalay Bay. The only thing some people might have a problem with is that it's really far away. It's the very last resort on like the the chain of resorts, like it's the very, very last one. So there's a monorail you can take, but it's not convenient. Like and this was true with all three of the ones I stayed at. The Luxor, the Excalibur, and Mandalay Bay, they're kind of off by themselves, like trying to pass the strip, and they're right beside the airport. Like, I know you couldn't for security reasons, but you could probably, like, seriously get off a plane and, like, walk to the hotel. They're that close. You can watch the planes take off from your room and stuff. And then this, like, MGM and this one, New York, they kind of start, like, the actual strip, which is why you see all the neon lights and stuff. So, yeah, Mandalay Bay is far away, but it's such a beautiful resort. I'm like, why would you want to leave? So that's kind of the main difference. Like, I kind of feel like this one and Mandalay Bay are kind of like opposites. Like, Mandalay Bay has such a beautiful resort, but it's not really that convenient to go somewhere else. It's actually connected to Luxor, and you can take a monorail to Excalibur, but it's like, if you're at Mandalay Bay, why would you want to go to those two? Unless you just want to check out the Egyptian theming, which is pretty cool. So yeah, what else did I want to say? Okay, so Mandalay Bay is my favorite. MGM Grand, very nice, but I think overpriced. This one, I think, is a great kind of in the middle. I would totally recommend it for maybe, like, families, especially if you have teenagers, especially if you, someone who likes the shows, who, you know, is kind of interested in New York. I think this is a great option. This one is a lot of fun. It's got, like, a fun energy about it. The Cirque du Soleil show, supposedly it's, like, got quite a bit of nudity, but still, it still seems pretty, like, family friendly here. I don't know what else is I going to say. If you want a really, really good deal, then Excalibur is probably the one to pick, because it's the absolute least expensive. It's the only resort that I stayed at where you're allowed to bring your own food out to the pool. So that's a nice little way to save some money. One general complaint I had about all the resorts, the MGM ones that I've been staying at here for the last week, Mandalay Bay and MGM was a little bit better. The TV, though, there's no premium channels. Like, the best thing on there, the best option is, like, AMC and Sci-Fi. That's what I've been watching for the last week. And that's kind of surprising when you're staying at a higher end hotel. You kind of expect to see, like, a premium, you know, cable lineup. There's no mini fridge, no coffee maker, so you're on your own for that stuff. You can go to the Walgreens or the ABC, CVS, and buy yourself drinks and stuff. Save a lot of money that way, but the only way to keep them cool is with the ice bucket. So that's something to think about. I think maybe some of the suites have refrigerators. You can probably request one. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to charge you for it, but I know it's an issue for some people who need to refrigerate things like baby formula, prescription medicine, stuff like that. So it's something to consider. So I've had a pretty good time. Did some gambling. I had a lot of luck at the beginning, but that seemed to wear off. In the beginning, I was like winning every time I sat down on the slot machine, but that kind of wore off. So this is the end of my little Vegas vacation run at the resorts. The only one I would probably come back for, like, if I, like, moved from Vegas and wanted to take a vacation, is Mandalay Bay, because that one was just, like, off the hook beautiful, I thought. It was honestly what I wish Hawaiian resorts looked like to be quite honest, because I've been to Hawaii a few times. I prefer going to Hawaii than Las Vegas, obviously, but I kind of wish that the resorts, at least the ones I've been in Hawaii, which were quite expensive, I wish they were actually as nice as Mandalay Bay. So I obviously really like that one. So I highly recommend it. Really do. I would probably recommend this one second, New York, New York. I'd probably recommend that over MGM because I think it's better value and better option, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed my review. And remember, they did upgrade me, so if you book a regular room here, it might not be quite as large. I'm trying guessing that where that table is, it won't have quite as much space right there. And I think it's just a shower and not like a soaking tub. But besides that, I hope you enjoyed my review. And good night from New York, New York. Bye.